You know, uh, for a long time, AI video generation felt exactly like playing a slot machine.
Oh, absolutely. You just pull the lever, close your eyes, and, perfect.
Exactly. You type a prompt and just kind of hope for the best. But that era of just hoping for a good video, it's officially dead.
It really is.
Oh.
We are stepping into an entirely new paradigm of control now.
Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're looking at something that fundamentally changes digital creation. We're unpacking Google Flow, specifically now that it's powered by Gemini Omni.
This is a massive leap forward.
Yeah.
We're moving from simple random generation to full granular cinematic control.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission for you today is pretty clear. We're breaking down 6 specific workflows in Google Flow. Workflows that turn it from a basic prompt box into a complete AI video workspace.
Right. It's all about intent. You finally have the tools to make exactly what you see in your head.
We're going to explore how you can edit existing footage. We'll look at creating digital avatars. We'll even dig into the hardest part of AI video, keeping characters visually consistent across multiple scenes.
And that's just the beginning. We're also going to cover physical motion control, style matching, and directing virtual cameras.
Let's start with the fastest way to upgrade your content. This is the end of the blank page. I'm talking about transforming existing video.
Yeah, this is such a smart place to begin. You don't have to stare at a blinking cursor anymore. You begin with what you already have.
Right. So let's say you have a standard, boring video on your phone, just you walking down the street. Flow allows you to upload that existing video. You can alter the style, the background, the lighting, and your clothes.
But here is the critical part. You keep the original camera movement and your original timing.
The source material gives us a brilliant example of this. Imagine taking that standard video of you walking. You use a text prompt to turn it into a cinematic sci-fi scene.
Oh yeah, suddenly you're wearing a modern sci-fi suit with glowing blue details.
Exactly. And the background is a futuristic neon city at night. There are flying vehicles zipping by, there are holographic signs glowing in the background, plus light fog rolling in.
But your walking pace is exactly yours. The slight camera sway is exactly what you filmed on your phone.
It's like digital rotoscoping on steroids. Beat. And by rotoscoping, I just mean tracing over live-action movement to create animation.
That's a perfect analogy. You are providing the physical skeleton. The AI is just painting the skin.
It's incredibly powerful because you keep the real-world physics. But I'm trying to wrap my head around why that matters so much. Why is keeping the original movement so crucial?
Real physics are incredibly hard for AI to fake perfectly.
Gravity is just a nightmare to calculate from scratch, right?
Exactly. Think about the micro movements when you walk, the slight shift in your hips, the subtle friction. When AI tries to generate that out of thin air, it usually looks like the person is floating.
Yeah, it feels totally weightless.
Right. But what if you don't have that base footage to transform? What if it's pouring rain and you just can't go outside to film?
That brings us to the digital presenter. Reusable AI avatars. Let's say you need yourself on camera, but you really don't want to film today.
This is where things get highly practical, especially for solo creators trying to scale their output.
The workflow here is fascinating. You scan your face and your voice just once. That creates a saved, reusable digital presenter.
Yeah, you build it once and you deploy it forever.
You can prompt this avatar to stand in a modern studio. It can explain AI tools to the camera. It uses natural speaking styles, realistic facial expressions, and smooth hand movements. And I have to admit something here. Beat. I still wrestle with being on camera every day.
Oh man, it is exhausting. Production friction is the absolute enemy of consistency. What's fascinating here is how this solves scaling for tutorial creators and YouTubers.
It really does. You just type the script, the avatar delivers it perfectly, you handle the ideas while the AI handles the performance. But I do have a major hesitation here. Doesn't this run the risk of feeling a bit uncanny?
Smooth hand gestures and micro-expressions effectively bridge the uncanny valley.
Are we really there, though? Because, older models always messed up the geometry of fingers.
Yeah, the dreaded AI hands. But Gemini Omni actually maps an invisible skeletal mesh onto the avatar. It understands that fingers have joints. It knows they can't bend backwards.
So it's enforcing biological rules on the image generation.
Precisely. And then you add in the micro-expressions, the tiny twitches around the eyes, Those tiny flaws sell the illusion of humanity.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Avatars solve the problem for you as a creator, but what if you are directing a narrative film with fictional characters?
That is an entirely different beast.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Building consistent characters, it's the holy grail of AI video.
It has been the biggest hurdle for years. Characters would just morph and change between shots.
Right. The biggest challenge is keeping them visually identical across scenes. If their face changes even slightly, the illusion just breaks. Flow solves this by saving characters. You can upload reference images and lock them in.
Yeah, it treats a human character like a saved 3D object.
Let's look at the specific example from our sources. You create a saved female character. You then place her in a busy coffee shop talking to a friend.
And you ensure her face, hairstyle, clothing, and body shape stay exactly the same.
It is exactly like casting an actor and signing them to a multi-scene contract.
That's a fantastic way to frame it. You cast the digital actor, then you just move him from set to set. You don't have to describe her over and over again in every prompt.
The creative freedom there is immense. But I am curious about the mechanics here. How does saving the character actually help the AI?
It gives the system a permanent mathematical anchor to reference constantly.
A mathematical anchor. I love that. When you save a character, the AI converts their face into a massive string of numbers, right?
Exactly. It assigns numerical weights to the distance between their eyes, the arch of their eyebrows, their skin tone. It forces the generation algorithm to obey those specific numerical constraints.
It fundamentally grounds the generation process.
Yeah.
Before we move on to how we actually control these characters, we're going to take a quick break.
Sponsor. Insert mid-roll sponsor, read here. Welcome back to the deep dive. So far, we've covered transforming footage, digital avatars, and consistent characters.
We have our cast assembled. We are officially ready to shoot. But once you have your actor, you face a new problem. How do you control their precise physical movement from point A to point B?
Yeah, you can't just type walk across the room. The AI will probably make the moonwalk or just kind of slide across the floor.
Right. This is where AI tweening comes in. You use start and end frames.
This takes a classic old-school animation technique and completely supercharges it.
You upload a start frame and an end frame. You let Google Flow create the entire transition between the two.
You define the bookends. The AI paints all the pages in between.
The example on the material is highly visual. Imagine a character walking slowly toward the camera. There is a warm sunset in the background.
The AI calculates realistic body motion. It figures out natural camera motion and soft lighting changes as the sun dips lower. Whoa! Beat. Imagine the AI perfectly painting every single frame in between those two images.
It is mind-bending. 2 sec silence. It has to literally understand 3D space from two flat 2D images.
It is inferring depth. It's inferring physical momentum. But there is a crucial tip here.
Right. Both frames must have similar styles and clothes to work smoothly.
Yeah, you can't have a character in a spacesuit in frame 1 and a tuxedo in frame 2.
You have to be deeply logical about the transition. The AI needs a breadcrumb trail. So for you listening, why do the start and end frames need similar visual styles?
Drastic visual changes cause the AI to hallucinate weird, messy morphs.
And hallucinations are the absolute enemy of good video. You don't want a shirt melting into a jacket mid-step. You want precision.
You want complete, deliberate control over the visual output.
Which perfectly transitions us into painting the world. You've nailed the character and the movement. Now, how do you make the entire world look visually stunning and uniform?
You cannot rely only on text to describe a complex visual style. Words often fail us there. Try describing the exact color grading of a specific movie. It's tough.
It is. So Google Flow uses an Ingredients tab. You upload a reference image to guide colors, lighting, and mood.
You show it what you want instead of just telling it.
The specific example given is fantastic. Imagine creating a colorful 3D cartoon. It features 3 small yellow characters in sports uniforms.
And they are practicing with old bronze equipment.
You upload specific artwork with warm lighting. The AI matches the soft textures and the playful mood of your reference image mathematically.
If you connect this to the bigger picture, this acts as a digital mood board, keeping multi-shot projects cohesive.
Every shot feels like it belongs in the exact same movie.
Right.
It's exactly what a real art director does, but there is a common trap here.
Yeah, people tend to upload reference images that are way too complex.
The crucial tip from the source is crystal clear. Use an image with a clear visual style, not a busy image. Why avoid using a highly detailed busy reference image?
Clutter confuses the AI's stylistic focus, leading to unpredictable results.
It spreads the system's attention weights too thinly. If your reference image has a neon sign, a rainstorm, a dog, and a retro car, the AI doesn't know what represents the style.
So it just mushes them all together. And unpredictability is exactly what we are trying to eliminate today. We want granular control over every single frame.
Okay, we are at the final piece of the puzzle. The world looks perfect, your characters are moving flawlessly, the mood is locked in. Now, how do you make the edit feel like a real movie?
You need coverage. You need different shots and angles to actually cut between.
But you definitely don't want to start from scratch for every single cut. That would be a complete nightmare.
Generating a brand new scene for every angle invites so many continuity errors. A cup might magically appear on a table. The lighting might completely shift.
So the workflow is this. You generate a base scene. Then you use a follow-up prompt to change only the camera angle.
Yeah, you freeze the world and you move the lens.
Our source gives a vivid example. A young woman in a black jacket and a backpack. She is walking down a quiet, rainy, neon-lit street. It starts as a beautiful, medium-wide shot.
It looks gorgeous. The rain is perfectly reflecting the neon lights.
You prompt Flow to keep all elements absolutely identical. The woman, the street, the rain. But you switch to a dramatic low-angle shot, or an emotional close-up, or a top-down drone view.
The AI recalculates the geometric perspective of that exact same moment in time.
You aren't regenerating a scene, you are just moving a virtual camera.
Right, you are moving the lens inside a frozen AI-generated soundstage.
It is basically a digital Hollywood backlot.
You are exploring the latent space geographically. It is incredible.
Wait, latent space. For those listening, what is that exactly?
That's just the hidden mathematical map where the AI stores its concepts.
Perfect. So you explore that map to get your wide establishing shot and your extreme close-up, all perfectly matching. But there's a technical benefit too. Does generating a new angle actually save rendering time?
Yes, because you skip building the complex environment from scratch entirely.
That is massive. It makes the entire workflow so much more fluid. It allows you to think like an editor in a suite, not just a prompter at a keyboard. We've covered a lot of deep ground today. We looked at transforming existing footage to keep real-world physics, deploying reusable avatars for scale, locking in consistent characters with mathematical anchors.
We covered using start and end frames for motion control, applying style references cleanly, and generating camera angles for cinematic coverage.
So what does this all mean? We started out talking about slot machines. If the old way was pulling a lever and praying, this new era is like walking into the casino and owning the house.
It is a fundamentally different approach to digital creation.
Google Flow is a modular, non-linear editing suite. It gives creators granular control over every aspect of production.
You are the director, the cinematographer, and the art director all at once.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this gives you a new framework for approaching your video projects. The tools are officially here. It is just about how you use them.
This raises an important question. If AI can perfectly mimic our face, our voice, and flawlessly direct cinematic scenes purely from text, will the future of filmmaking be less about technical skill and entirely about the taste, lived experience, and raw imagination of the creator?